Welcome back to the channel, fellow adventurers. If you're new here, we do EDC gear and knife review videos. If you like that kind of content, subscribe to the channel. All right, we have something big in front of us. Look at the size of this case. So HX Outdoors sent us over this knife to review. This is their TD-18B. This is their camping bushcraft survival style knife. It's got this really nice plastic case, but it is big. So let's see what we have in there. First thing you're going to see, I put that down, is you've got a HX Outdoors microfiber cloth. You've got their logo right there. Pretty awesome. Get that out of the way. You've got a little knife card here with their slogan, "Every man deserves an exceptional knife, HX Outdoors." And on the back, you've got their social media information and a scan, so that way you can go right to their website. Now let's look at this box. One, you've got this heavy foam all around, which is really nice, packed well, foam on top. It doesn't have a waterproof seal, but I think it would do a decent job of keeping the water out and keeping moisture out. But the reality is, we don't care about the box, do we? Maybe we do, but what I care about is this here, the knife. So let's get this turned around. Let's take a look at this. You've got this really nice Kydex sheath. Take a look at that. You've got your belt hanger right there, made of leather, that is detachable if you wanted to take that off. You've got multi-mounting points on the Kydex sheath, and it is Kydex. It's not like a nylon or anything. It's a Kydex sheath. It does have their logo right there, but that's nice. You have multiple mounting points. If you want to put scout carry straps on it, or ulti clips, or anything like that, you can. Tech lock, whatever you feel most comfortable with. You're going to see a unique feature right here. Look at this. Right into the sheath, you've got this ferrocerium rod. So that's a nice touch, having the ferro rod right there. And that just slides back in there, locks in place, holds in there pretty nice. Now you've got your typical button snaps to secure the handle. Let's open that up. Pretty nice tight. The sheath itself, let's move this out of the way. We can give it a little shake test. So it does move a little bit, but it's not going to come out at all. You know, it has a little bit of movement. That's fine. I don't mind that. But it's in there. Let's take it out now and look at the knife itself. First thing you're going to see right on top is their little campfire logo. Then they have their Asian writing here, the Chinese writing, I should say. And I believe that says cuts. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what it says. You've got your model number right there, your TD-18B right across the blade. Let me bring that up a little bit so you can see it. Again, the TD-18B. So it's not heavily billboarded, but if that bothers you, you know, it might be a little bit much for some people. For me, it doesn't bother me. And on the other side, they have their HX Outdoor logo, and then the steel type, which this is a DC-53 steel. So let's talk about DC-53 steel. So DC-53 steel is basically an improved D2. So it offers a really good edge retention, almost equivalent to like a super steel when it comes to edge retention. They can bring this to a high hardness, which is nice. You can get this up to like a 64 hardness. This one is not at that level. This is done at a 58, which is good, and I'll explain why it's not up as high. And the reason for that is because when you raise the hardness level, it has a tendency to make a knife a little bit more brittle. And when you have a high, heavy use outdoor knife, you don't want it to be brittle. What you want it to do is be able to chop. So you're going to be chopping wood with this. You're going to be batoning wood. You're going to be doing things like that, where sharpness isn't as important. But having it not being brittle so the edges don't chip. Really important. Now, the other thing about DC53 is that it is a pretty tough steel. And what's nice about it, it's easy to sharpen too. So it has all those benefits. Where it fails to be a super steel is that it's not corrosion resistant. It's not a stainless steel. But in the case of this one, this has a titanium coating on there to help fight the corrosion. So that titanium is going to, titanium coating is going to fight rust, and really nice, really nice budget steel done really well. Now take a look at the blade. This is a really nice blade. You got some beautiful swedging up here. It's almost like a multi-grind, the way this comes down, and plenty of sharpening choil there. Really nice. Now let's look at the top of the blade. So what they did was, you have the titanium coating, but here it's ground down to leave that exposed. Hopefully you could see that on the camera. Right there. See, that's unfinished. It is a full tang, and what they did was they added this steel cap, excuse me, at the end, which does a couple of things. One, has your lanyard hole, but look at that. See that there? That's for using it as a hammer, whether you're driving in tent stakes or anything else that you need to hammer in. That is what that's for, right there. So now, let me show you something really cool. So we talked about the ferro rod before. So let's show you how this works. Because that is unfinished there, it doesn't have the titanium coating, and it's a 90-degree angle, you get a really nice spark. So much so, and that spark is really hot, that you're going to get marks on the blade. But we'll clean that off. And there you go, as good as new. So now let's put this back in here. Let's leave that up here for a second. So now let's talk about the specs on this. One, you've got really nice textured G10 handles right there. You've got the ability to take them off, so if you have to clean them, very easy to get in there and unscrew them. They made that really nice. Feels really good in the hand. That is a full 4-finger grip for me. And what's nice is you have, if you need to choke up, you've got a finger choil right there. The jimping on top is done really well. That's an excellent jimping. It actually holds your thumb the way it's supposed to. It's what I like to call effective jimping, where your finger doesn't slide. It actually grabs, which is what it's supposed to do. Now, this has some weight to it. This is a heavy knife, but it's also a bigger knife. So let's take a measurement of the blade. And let's put it inches side up. Okay. So if you're going from back of the blade to the front, you're coming in at 4.5 inches right there. But your cutting edge, if you start there, is about just slightly under 4 inches. So it's a good size. Now, if you want to go handle length, let's just say here, okay, you're at about 4.25 inches. So this knife is coming in at almost 9 inches, and that's really nice. It's a full size knife. This is going to be great for chopping wood, batoning. You could just see, because it's got a very nice thickness here, but a very thin edge here. So you're going to have the weight to drive right through that wood. Now, let's get some paper and see how sharp this is out of the box. I have a sheet of paper here. Let's see. Wow. Okay, so that is seriously sharp. Now, let's get that out of the way. And let's grab some paracord. and see how we cut. So first, oops, no problem there. Let's see how we cut. Oh, there we go. Let's see, that might have been user error on my part. Yep, right through, no problem. Let's see. There we go. That's the key. I didn't put blade into it. Yeah, just really nice. And that's the key. You got to get that edge of the blade in there. But it makes the cuts very, very easy. So I think this is just a fantastic knife. I mean, this is going to be, like they say, this is going to be great as a camping knife, as a bushcrafting knife, as a survival knife. You know, let's take a look at some other things about it. So, definitely has a non-slip handle. Like you saw, it's an extra really sharp blade. With that titanium coating, it's going to make it very durable, you know. And this has a nice balance of hardness and toughness. And like I said, good edge retention. I think it's just going to be a killer knife out in the field. Let me know what you think. Drop down in the comments. Do you like it? Do you like the design of it? I personally think it looks fantastic. You know, a couple of things I want to do to it right away is I want to put a lanyard on it. And I think I want to remove this. I never really hang my knives. I usually go scout carry, you know. So I'm going to put some scout straps on this, or even like an ulti or an ulti clip. You know, this might be one that's good to hang off the straps on one of my hiking backpacks, something like that, or just scout strap it, you know, behind my back. But really, I think this is going to be a great knife. Like I said, it feels great. My initial, you know, thoughts are this is excellent. I don't think, you know, it's hard to find unless you're going at a ridiculously high price point. You know, at like the $150 range, $200 range, it's going to be hard to find a knife this good. I mean, this one comes in at a very affordable price, and I think that makes it worth every bit of it. So, like I said, let me know what you think. Tell me what you think about it. You know, is it the type of knife you like? Do you like the look of it? Is it something you want to carry? Again, this is just a unboxing. It's not necessarily a review because we'll have to take it out in the field and test it out. Maybe we'll come back with some results at a later time. But I want to thank HX Outdoors for sending this. I think this is just fantastic. Like I said, I'm very happy with it. Folks, that wraps this up. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel. And, as I always say, until we meet again, keep your blade sharp.